Welcome to the 3-minute series, unit number 18 on somatics. So in Gestalt, I think Gestalt is fundamentally a body-oriented type of therapy. We don't just deal with the mind as if it's some separate entity. We're interested in body and mind. We're interested in the interface between the two. And in some senses, the division between the two is kind of artificial, and modern science is telling us that more and more. So in Gestalt, we don't just talk about things. We want to really find out what is the experience in your body as you tell me about your father yelling at you, or what's your experience right now in your body as you think about your children leaving home. So we bring everything into the present, we bring everything into the body, and we also work with bodies. Now, there's many different ways to work with bodies in therapy. Sometimes we can work with movement or aggression, for instance. I like to use what I call therapeutic wrestling, which is you kind of grasp the other person with the hands, put your feet one behind the other, and you push. And it's not about winning or pushing the other person over, but it's about meeting the other person with aggression, with really being able to embody that. Or you might use, hitting pillows or something like that to also do that. So we use the body and movement. Obviously, we do a lot of attention to feelings, and people often need a lot of support, sometimes men more so, in tuning into their feelings. They need space for that. They need help in identifying their feelings. And one of the ways we do that is we say, if you don't know what you feel, just tell me what the sensation is: hot, cold, tense, relaxed, what's going on in your body, and where do you experience that? And that can help the person lead into their feelings. We also pay attention to breathing. That's very important. Often people restrict their breath when they become traumatized or tense, they freeze up. So we work with breathing and helping them liberate the breath. We look at where people tense up, and that might become a habitual tension. They curve over their shoulders, or women might hide their sexuality by pushing their pelvis back or by tightening it. So we work with body posture. We look at how people hold themselves, how they move, and what happens in their musculature. And we also controversially work with touch. Now, this is a big topic, but basically Gestalt being a somatic-oriented therapy, we're fine with touch. There's nothing wrong with touch. There's no psychotherapeutic body in the world that prohibits touch. The issue is touch that's in service of the client, touch that's about the client's needs, touch that's non-sexual, that's non-exploitative, touch that's tuned in, touch that's respectful, touch that's consensual, that's negotiated. But touch can be very useful, and for some clients very important. Touch is very primal. It's a part of our core needs as a human being, and so therapy also needs to be able to incorporate that respectfully and appropriately. So touch opens up a whole world of working with the body, of bringing awareness. You can have soft touch, you can have hard touch like that wrestling I was talking about. You can have touch that reminds people to notice what they're doing. Many different types of touch that are very powerful and very useful tools. And I encourage people within a proper training framework and a proper supervision framework and a proper ethical framework to explore using touch to bring awareness, which is what we're on about in Gestalt, to one's experience, and also to support the person. Touch can be very profoundly supportive. A light touch in a moment of deep pain can really help the person feel that you're there even more than the words.